Okay, so my friend Rudy has developed 21 streams of passive income. He has a goal to get to 50 streams of passive income. And he's not necessarily a syndicator or he doesn't really put himself out there for investing, but I just think he has an awesome story. And I'd love to have you here. I think there's a lot of takeaways that you and I can learn from people that have developed different streams of passive income. So, Rudy, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How you doing, Bronson?
I'm good, man. I know we've been friends for a few years. I've really appreciated your investing, just the different ways you invest, your emphasis on personal development, kind of like myself. And you're just an awesome guy. So I've just really enjoyed getting to know you over the years, man. So I'm really excited to have you come on the show today.
Thank you. Good to be
Uh,
here.
awesome. So I want you to take us through the story of how you got to 21 sources of passive income. A lot of people are like, well, if I have one or I have this, it's great. But um, and some of these are kind of multiples of the same category, but I just want to read them off because I think they're really impressive. So you have a 2 bedroom house you rent out, you've got a 3 bedroom house, you've got a mobile home trailer, mobile home park, you've got 3 travel trailers, you've got another mobile home park, you've got 6 different lots that you rent out each month, and then you've got 4 different like shipping containers, or I guess it looks like 5 different shipping containers, dump truck trailer, a tractor, a 15-year note, and you charge some guy $20 a month to park his camper on a yearly basis, which is pretty impressive. So a lot of people say you have a bunch of units. Some people say I have that many units, but I think it's cool because you look at this more as just different streams of income of ways you can develop your passive. And when you add all that up, how much is that a month, at least kind of your gross that you're getting from that?
It's over 80. I don't get them. It's like 8,000 something. It's over 100 a year.
Awesome. That's so over 100K a year
Yeah.
that Rudy's developed in basically different passive investments, either owning real estate and renting things out, or even buying these. I want to get into the shipping container stuff in a little bit, but why don't you tell us a little bit of your story? Tell us about your business. You also have a business and just a little bit of your background. I know you've been into personal development as well, so maybe you could touch on that as well.
Yeah, sure. So I pretty much started working for my dad at the tire shop. He owned the tire shop. Um, Later on, I started doing things on my own, mainly selling tires like online. And then after a while, bought the shop for my dad, and then um, just worked for years owning the shop, and you just you have something in mind. What's your like what you're gonna do like later on, but then you just don't know when the time comes until like it just shows up one day. It's just like, hey, it's time to it's time to go, just do it. So um I pretty much started looking for property, but I started with land. So I bought this land, um and then I put this wall around it. So like I put an entrance in it, and then I sold it, and then I did a 1031 to this um, other property in Hemet, and at the same time I was already like, let's just go already. So then I was in escrow for a um, a duplex, and it had a big it's an acre and a half lot. So I was just looking for like big properties, and then so the other one was an acre, and we just started, right away with the my took my guys that were doing the wall for the entrance of the lot. I brought them to the the duplex right away. We started renovating it. Uh, I was learning a lot because I didn't know about real estate, and so I would go to the Home Depot with them. I was trying to be more hands-on because I wanted to learn. So like I went from like going to a lot of parts to going to the Home Depots because tire shop sells
Right.
so
I
then
want to kind of slow you down for one sec here. I want to just focus on a couple of things you just said. I think it's really interesting. When you first started sharing, you said you're like, I just kind of, look for like you look for opportunities, right? You were just
yeah,
open to kind of what's out there. And even when you didn't
yeah,
know necessarily what it was, you were willing to
yeah,
ask questions. You went to Home Depot, you did different things. And I think
yeah,
that's one of the biggest things. I remember when I was young, we used to go to garage sales with my dad. I don't know if you ever go to garage sales or if any listener
yeah.
went to garage sales, but I would go. And one time when I was like 10 or 11, I got a hold of this box of watches for like $5. It was like 20 or 30 watches. I don't know why this person had all these watches. Some were broken. I was able to put them together and repair them and even resell some of them to friends at school. And so it's just like little opportunities that are here or there. And so a lot of people talk about it as just being, opportunistic in a good way, just trying to figure out, okay, this is an opportunity. And if you just pay attention, there's going to be things that are there and they're available. So you started doing this. You basically went to Home Depot, you're learning, you've got some guys working with you, you're fixing this place up, you're active
Yeah.
because that's what you know. You're
Yeah.
obviously asking questions. And so
Right.
you get your first rental going and that starts generating some cash for you.
Yeah. So pretty much the duplex came with one tenant, and then after the month they paid, and I was like, man, this is so beautiful. I was like, because I didn't do anything, and then I got the rental straight to the direct deposit, and I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. Like, I want to grow as much as I can. I want to keep doing this over and over.
How many years ago was that? How many years ago was that
This
first
is about
deposit?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. So it's amazing, like, but when that happens, no matter what age we are, no matter what time of life, it's just a magical experience. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I got this, whatever is done, and now I just get this passive, I just get this deposit that comes in every month. And sometimes it's mailbox money, like the name of the show, or it could be. My friend was saying you should call it like direct deposit money or something different. But I said mailbox money is a little more easy to reference. So you got that, and that obviously felt great. And then, so tell us a little bit more on your journey, kind of how you. Because you did that, so it's a 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom duplex. Is that what that is?
It was well, it is a 3-bed on one end, two units on the other one. Okay. So then I like I said, I was fixing up the whole property, but I pretty much finished the 3-bedroom now, and then I started marketing it, and found my tenant, right, got him in, and so then now we move on to the other property, and again, nonstop. But this is some other contractor now, a friend. It's kind of, I met him nearby. He lives like real close by the property. We started fixing it up. We didn't have any tenants there, so then it's a 1 acre it's a mobile home. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So then first we fixed that up, make sure everything was good. And then I had bought a travel trailer and put it kind of close by. We did the plumbing, we did the electricity, and already had the trash service there. So then pretty much we set it up, and I rented that one out first, and then after I rented out I was gonna split the mobile home to 2 parts. I had it already done. I got someone in, and then they pretty much they wanted it after a month and a half. It's like, hey, I want the whole thing. So then they rent the whole thing. So then,
so this travel. So sorry, the travel trailer, is that like a trailer with wheels on it, or is it one that? So it's kind of like an Airstream or one of those type of trailers.
Right.
You put it in there, you hooked it up. Right.
Yeah,
So you basically you set it up though as a long-term type of rental.
Correct. Yeah, I even put like borders around it, very nice. Like looks like a little mobile home. It looks like a home. But awesome. So I made like a fence in between the property. My dad was like, hey, just keep it for us. We're gonna go. And turns out he never went. No one ever went back there. But I made it very nice back there. It was like, so I kept half of the acre. I put like rocks, and I kept the trees real nice, and I pretty much kept my cars there. And then I was like, man, this is too nice for my cars. It's already months, and then I pulled out the cars, and then let's get back to work, right? And so like I made pretty much trench. I had guys do it, but we worked on it, like trench all the way like to the back of the property, because they needed to get the sewer all the way to the street because of the way the property was. So then we took the wiring, the electrical back, and then the water lines all the way to the back. And so we made pretty much a setup for 2 travel trailers. So then I bought another one, we set it up. I bought another one, we set it up.
So this is all on the same property. So you have them
on
all
the same property, yeah.
And this is, so we're in Southern California. Is this out in Hemet, kind of out east in the desert as well?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
yeah, so I see, I'm just going through the list here. You did that. You've got another mobile home park. You did a bunch of lots. What are the lots? And you're getting like $370 a month for these lots. Like, what is for the 6 different lots?
Yeah. So I started after that project was done. I filled them with tenants. I was on to my next property. I wanted to. I was already more experienced by then. I understood real estate more. So like I had a passion. Like I developed a passion for mobile home parks. I just came across it. Had a buddy, his buddy owns mobile home parks. I saw that it was very lucrative. I started searching it, and then when I started searching, I noticed that this is a whole nother ballgame. So I had to go to pretty much a school, but online. It's called Mobile Home University.
Okay.
And they have your courses, and then a boot camp, and it's a long process because I read the books. So I figured out I need my education if I want to go to mobile home parks, because you can either make good money or you can lose all your money you put into the deal. And
right.
So I started studying, and then my passion developed really strong. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a park now, so I'm ready to go. And so I was looking at these parks, mobile home park store.com, mobilehomeparkstore.com, and right there, how about, there's a lot of mobile home parks directly with the owner signing them
Nice.
for sale by the owner. So then I talked to these owners. I found one I really like. You go to the demographics. If it's a growing population, what's your population in the city? In this case, it was over 30,000 people in the city, over 100,000 metro. It was very diverse with.
So I want to stop you one sec, because I know we're kind of getting in the weeds here, which is good, but it's just, I want to kind of focus in on one thing, is that you took the time to educate yourself.
Yeah.
You talked about your education, and a lot of people, and I want to say too about passive income. So a lot of these things that you've set up, they started out being more active, but they become very passive over time.
Right.
And I think for anybody listening who wants to develop something, it's been said that passive investing is actually really a myth. There's no such thing as passive investing, because if it's fully passive, then you're just not paying attention, right? You're not looking at, you're not actually seeing what's there. But what I love about what Rudy's doing is not only is he doing these deals, but he's learning about it. And it's like, whenever you need something, that's when you need to learn it, right? You don't have to necessarily learn it before, but when it's time to buy a deal, or you're really wanting to find income, or you have some property you're looking at, it's really a motivation to say, hey, I want to get this going, because this is what this is going to provide for me. So it gives you that. So you picked up this, and where was this property that you picked up?
It's in North Carolina.
North Carolina. And did you go out there and visit and kind of walk it and everything?
No,
never been out there. Okay. Okay. And it sounds like it's been working well for you, because you've been you have different lots there. You have is it 6 lots? Is that where it is?
6 lots. Yeah. It came with the homes. I sold the homes, and now it's their home. They pay me lot rent.
Okay. Awesome. That's great. And then let's shift a minute. We're going to come back to some different things on just, about passive income, about how people can develop passive income, but also I love how creative you are, Rudy, because you've just found ways to and I know this is just your passive stuff. We've got other stuff we did more. You have Facebook businesses and groups that you create. You've got, a limo business. You've got all these different businesses. It's amazing how many even active businesses you have. Of course, they're not a part of this, but so you have shipping containers. You've got 4 or 5 shipping containers that you've put. Is it on the same property in Hemet? You put?
Yeah, we went back to Hemet after I filled up all those 6 lots, and we started putting those shipping containers. Pretty much it's easy. You just contact the company, and they deliver. You pay them, they deliver the containers. You tell them where you want them. So it's easy. It's pretty simple to set up. You just you got to be there when they deliver. That's the hard part.
And how much? So I know you're getting $200 a month for these. How much were the shipping containers each?
They were like 2,100 or 22.
That's amazing.
Like that. Yeah.
So you're making it all back in 11 months. You're paying for the actual shipping container. Now, are shipping containers more expensive now because of all the stuff going on, or are they still pretty much the same price?
I'm pretty sure it went up in price. I haven't checked the prices, but COVID and all that made it go up.
But it is really interesting though, because if one of those costs $30,000 and you were able to rent it for $200 a month, it would be a different equation than if it's $2,100 and you had this way to do it. And somebody comes and puts a lock on it, they can store whatever they want there. For those that aren't familiar, Hemet is kind of east of LA, out in the desert, an hour or two. And it's just, there's a lot of space out there. So LA, there's not a lot of space, but you can go out to the desert and find all the space. But I love that you found a way that, the numbers make sense for you. And that's the thing in any market, you'll find deals of certain things that people don't want. We were just on a panel last night. I don't know, we're not sure when this, video will actually come out. It'll probably be a little bit down the road, but with a few experts, George Gammon, Mark Moss, and Rick Rule. And they were talking about the idea of coal, the energy coal is a very out of favor product because of all the green energy, the ESG stuff right now, that they're getting incentives to basically try to do away with all energy that's not considered clean. But we really need coal for the next 10, 20, 30 years. So some of these coal companies are very, very underpriced is what they were sharing, which I thought was really cool. So if you're paying attention, you're willing to look for deals, it's really interesting. So you have a dump trailer, the trailer that people can haul stuff with. You have a tractor. You have a 15-year note. Is that like for a tenant or something, or is that like for just a friend that you're loaning out money?
No, I bought a property in Yucca Valley. I fixed it up. The plan was to rent it out. I decided not to rent it out. I just like, you know what, I'm just gonna sell it. It's kind of like far, and so like it was like, all right, I'm just gonna sell it. And I got the buyer through an agent. They, we listed it, and he paid me 30% down, and I seller finance 70%.
Okay. That's great. So you sell on finance 70%. And then I love the last one. You have just a lot. You have a guy parking a camper, and he pays you $20 a month. He pays you annually, and he just parks it there. So it's another thing. But over 10K. So of the over 100K a year, how much expenses would you say that you have of that? Because that's the gross, right? So you do have some expenses with taxes and other things. Do you know how much your expenses are?
I would say it's probably I don't know, 20% or so, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So you're still 80K, or that's awesome. Is this a lot to try to manage sometimes when you're leasing a container? Or do you have help with it? Do you have a property manager or anything back for the North Carolina stuff, or Hemet, or are you doing a lot of this yourself?
I soft manage everything. It's not that hard because usually like it's one problem and then you got to fix it, and then later on another problem comes and then you got to fix it. It's not like everything comes at once. And so like, and then so I have people out like at the properties. If I just got to call them, make a phone call, they fix it, I pay them through Zelle. It's very pretty simple. It does, in the beginning it's a lot of work, it's hard, but after, like right now where I'm at now, it's very, very simple. Yeah.
Well, I really like, I met somebody, this was, I think, right before COVID, that really their goal was to get 7 forms of passive income. There's different gurus that talk about this, where you just get different forms of income. Yeah. And I mean, also all of these, you have a form of inflation hedge because you own land, you own certain, whether it's containers or homes or mobile home parks. I mean, these are all things that have some inflation hedge as well as inflation is rising. But, you don't know one of these streams when you're looking, and for people listening, you don't know which one of these could become a passion that you just realize like, hey, I really enjoy this. I want to really double down and put more and get a bigger mobile home park, or maybe I could buy 100 shipping containers and put them on. Like there's the idea of scalability that you just don't always know what you don't know. And so the fact that you took action, it allows you to really see what works for you, both from an income standpoint as well as what do you enjoy. Rudy, I know that your goal, you've shared this with me. As I mentioned, we've been friends for a while. Your goal is to get 50 streams of passive income. So you're at 21, you have 21 different ways you're doing it. Are you just going to kind of do more of the same to get there? Or what are some of your ideas to get to 50?
The duplex, it appreciated a lot. And it only has 2 units. Now I'm looking back, right? So my plan is to sell that one and get something like, let's say in Bakersfield out there, like over 10, like 12, there's 15 units that you can get with that money. I can, so that will be a big project that I would like to do. And so that's my plan for that. I like to do things one at a time because I just like to focus on my effort on one thing. And then once that one project is done, then I move on to the next thing. So, but yeah, so that's like one of the things, I mean, I'm interested in a lot of things. Like rent out the shop. I know it's not passive, but like I'm also developing active ones. So the next thing is we're working at the shop with a lift, and we want to do more like high performance builds or high performance repairs. So then like that's it. It's just one thing at a time, and then like it just comes, and then okay, once I'm done with that, whatever I kind of like find interest, and so like I'll move on to that. So I don't really have a plan like, oh, I want to buy another mobile park,
Right.
So.
Well, the other thing that I want to point out is one of the reasons you're successful, Rudy, is that you're intellectually curious. You're curious about things. You encounter something, you see some value there, and you're willing to do the work to discover how to make it happen. And I think that's a really awesome thing. Most people don't do it. They're kind of like, oh yeah, here's a great idea, and then they just never do anything with it. But the fact that you have sought it out and have done it is really great. I'm sure over time you'll figure out how you'll get to 50, and then you'll find a way to get to 100 and all that, and that'll be great. But what advice would you give to someone who wants to get started and develop more, like different, some people would say what you're doing is still kind of active because you're kind of managing some of it, but you do have some help, and you have workers that kind of help you with some of the stuff too. But what advice would you give to somebody who maybe doesn't have any passive income and is interested in getting started?
I would say, of course, take action is the most important thing, but um, most I would see like a lot of, let's just say, people I know that they won't do something because it's not worth it, right? Like they will want like a bigger, like let's say, income, but I'm not gonna mess with the little things, right? So I was like, I don't care if it's little or big, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna get that stream of income. And so like,
Yeah.
if it's a small little thing, small project, like let's say, like we didn't mention much the dump trailer and the tractor, but I have a friend that owns a company, and so like I've known him for many years. I know he's successful in it, but he would need help with tools. Didn't have money for tools. I have money I can buy tools with. So then he said, okay, well, this will help me a lot. Let's do this one. All right, let's go. We buy it together. He takes it, pays me every month, and okay, this one will help me out. So like you're gonna have people you trust, friends that need something. You can buy them like this tool that they can afford. But you are looking for passive income streams. You make them a contract, and they're not gonna screw you over because you're really close to them, right? So then they get something, you bring value to them, and you get paid every month without you have to even do anything for that, that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, no, it really is true. There's a saying that well, there's a lot of sayings around this, but there's the idea. I call it kind of a low risk experiment, right? So you
Mhm.
start, you get educated, you learn about something, maybe you do something, and I've started things that, like, for a while, and this is what I did while I was still working my corporate job, and before I was in real estate. I would take every Friday afternoon because I had some flexibility, and I'd go to Starbucks and I'd just sit there and come up with different ideas, like different. I try to like flesh out different business ideas. One was to basically try, and this isn't necessarily as passive, but it was just trying to find ways to develop different businesses. So I had this idea of like wholesaling construction equipment, or selling it from, one construction supplies, or even this like night guard dental retainer. I had this whole business kind of plan I was going to do because I needed one. I thought they were really expensive. The dentist, I was going to do all this, but it's just amazing what you don't know, what you don't know. So if you don't pursue it, the worst way, I always think, what's the worst that could happen? Okay. Yeah. I spent some time doing it. Maybe I learned some things. Maybe it cost some money. But at the end of the day, the lessons that we do, nothing is failure. Everything, even when things fail, if we learn from things, we're not failing. We're actually failing forward. So I love what you shared, just being willing to try to do things that are kind of small in nature. So I wanted to ask you this, Rudy. I know we were talking about this before we kind of started recording, but for you, let's say you get to 50 streams of passive income. You've got more than enough to cover your living expenses, your travel, whatever it is that number is for you. What are some personal goals that you're looking forward to once you get your financial goals achieved?
So I'm really passionate about Camaros and cars, but I love the LS platform, the LS motors, and I love when it has turbos and
Nice.
superchargers. So then that stuff, it's pretty pricey. But if I get there, I'm just gonna keep building cars, keep the cars, build the cars, because it's so fun to build them. It's really
Yeah.
fun to drive them too, but the building part, it's awesome because there's so much things you can do. There's so much different ways you can build a car, and so that's one of the big goals I have, because it gets expensive, right? But
Right.
but if you can afford it, I mean, you can keep going with the cars over and over. So, and
I
they
love it.
rise in value too. Like once the old cars, but that's not the point. The point is to like have fun with them.
Yeah, yeah. I know you got a car you're working on. You're excited about. I'm excited to
Mhm.
see that once you're fully done. But no, that's great. You have a hobby, you enjoy it, and then, that could also turn into a business. You don't know. You could be like having your West Coast choppers,
Yeah.
hot rod show. You never know. So we'll find a way to make that happen, Rudy, when you're ready. And one reason I think you and I connect a lot, we've connected on different things. There was a group that I led actually locally on Brené Brown, which if no people have not heard of Brené Brown, my favorite author when it comes to personal development and just working through kind of your own stuff. And I've seen a lot of business breakthroughs just as I've had personal breakthroughs. And I know you also believe that too, Rudy. What are some things about personal development, or maybe some authors or books or kind of resources that you like in the personal development space?
Well, personal development, you can't out income whatever how big you are. So you can't like out make money from if you're like at a level 5%, but you're making like level 8%, eight money. You're gonna always end up like at level 5 again eventually, because you just can't handle it. So then like you can handle it if you grow to level 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But one of my favorites is Tony Robbins. Actually, he's my favorite. I listen to him like every morning. There's a lot of things you forget through the years, so I listen to it and it just reminds me, and
Right.
it just keeps you like more like alert, hungry. It keeps you in the moment, and it just keeps you moving forward every day. I feel like if I do one thing productive, even if just one thing, it's getting me closer to my goals. So and that helps you. It's like it helps you push forward. It's a big help.
Yeah, that's true. I love Tony Robbins as well. Actually, I think it was last week, not this week, last week, they had a Tony Robbins kind of 4-day challenge thing. So I did that, where it's a live stream where you just kind of get on there, and it was great. Like I just really felt encouraged in a lot of different areas of my life. But that's why I think for anybody listening, it's just, there is such a correlation between growing your wealth and growing your, just growing yourself. I mean, it's really, if you want to earn more, you got to learn more. And so that's something that you've done. So Rudy, I wanted to say thank you for coming and sharing some of your experience. I think it's truly impressive what you've accomplished. Appreciate your friendship personally, but I think most of all, I just really admire your desire to continue learning and really to give back to others. And that as you've kind of these little things that you've done, you're now generating basically a 6-figure income off of stuff that really is pretty passive for you, which is great in addition to your active stuff as well. So thanks so much for coming on, Rudy. What's a good way? Can people reach out to you or get in touch with you if they want to reach out to you?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel. It's called LA Mamba, and so that's a great way to get through. You can have my contact there.
Awesome. LA Mamba. I didn't even know you had a YouTube channel. We've known each other all these years. I didn't even know that. So I'll have to check out LA Mamba. Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks again, man. All right. So I really enjoy Rudy just, as a friend. He's a great guy. But the biggest thing I think you can learn from this interview, and the reason I did it, is because there are many outside the box ways that you can grow your wealth. And a lot of times people, it's opportunities all around. It's just often we don't see it because we're not trained to see it. We're not looking for it. And if we're willing to do what others are not willing to do, it can lead to something really big. A lot of amazing businesses, a lot of amazing investment opportunities have started, just with opportunities that other people could not see. And there's this saying that, I don't know if this is a true story or not, but basically, a couple hundred years ago, two shoe salesmen go to Africa, rural Africa, and they, one comes back and he says, "Hey, this is terrible. There's no market for shoes. Nobody wears shoes." And the second guy, shoe salesman as well, comes back and he says, "This is great. There's a huge market. No one wears shoes." So it's all how you look at the problem, right? One looked at it from no one wears shoes, there's no market. The other side is, oh my gosh, this is a totally untapped market. So it's amazing just your own attitude and your own idea of perspective to see value out there. So if you have a bias that tends to be negative or only look at negative things, which we all naturally do, it's so important that you have ways you build yourself up, that you have people around you that will help you, encourage you. They're doing bigger and better things. Even affirmations and personal growth stuff, I absolutely love. I go to goals events every year. If you send me a message, send me an email, info@bronsonequity.com. I'd be happy to send you some info about an upcoming goals event or other events that we're doing. So anyway, thanks for taking the time. If you are interested in passively investing with us in one of our deals, they are a little more passive, where you vet the deal, you vet our team, And then, our investors choose to invest. So we're doing deals constantly. We're looking at new stuff right now, and we're really excited about it. So feel free to reach out at Bronson Equity. And thanks again for taking the time to educate yourself. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.
You've been listening to the Mailbox Money Podcast. For more free resources, articles, and videos, go to bronsonequity.com. There you can download your copy of the special report, The Single Best Investment Strategy During and After a Pandemic. None of the information shared here is an offer to buy a specific investment, and this is for educational purposes only. Consult your financial, legal, and tax professionals and use your own common sense before making any investment decisions. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to tune in next time for more Mailbox Money.